maximize protection.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What that means is to start with that. To me, it's not merely a matter of the judge and the convicted criminal. It's not just between them. This convicted criminal comes from a background, comes from a neighborhood. I think it is wise to keep in mind that there are people who could potentially be affected negatively by this person's presence in the community. And so I think that when benefit of the doubt is being entertained, that it should be entertained on behalf of innocent people in the neighborhood, and not necessarily on behalf of the criminal. We'll start with that as the most important value, and then go from there into issues like rehabilitation and so forth.
Yeah. And again, going back to the question Councilor Viola asked you about criminal, and you said that you can learn, and there's a difference between learning and having experience in an area. And you can't learn experience.
You cannot.
And so, I put that together with that, and I'm wondering, are you going to be starting with this sort of neutral slate when it comes to decision making, or are you going to be sort of presumptively in favor of protecting the public and sort of lopsiding the equation before you even start?
Well,
you understand my question?
I do. I don't feel that I am a reactionary, and that I want to just throw people in prison and throw the key away. I mean, there is a balance that's done. There are judgments that are made. There are sometimes competing interests to be considered, and I think that I have no trouble doing that. I agree that experience isn't something that can be purchased. You can't read up on experience, but these transitions are made, and I think if a nominee has the requisite desire, has shown the requisite intellectual power, that it can be done, and can be done rather successfully. If I may, I'd like to return to this Prelli versus Leibowitz case here, which it's a heartfelt case for me that went on for a long time, and it was in many ways a very sad case and a very sad outcome. It was yes, in the sense that we won on liability, but no causation. And this was devastating. If you read it, the 21-year-old newlywed, the spinal cord tumor that they tried to biopsy and thought was malignant, and they started giving her radiation and chemotherapy. Turns out the tumor was not malignant. It was benign. Could have been removed, but remained in place, and because it was benign, it continued to grow. She slowly lost neurological function from the waist down, between bowel and bladder, and there was a lot riding on that case, and it was a very tough defeat with real consequences. Now, it's not without
it's the norm, it's not great.
Yeah.
And did anybody at the JNC have any concerns about any variances?
Not this particular one.
Let me just go to question 80. You said knowledge of the law.
What case? What question is this?
This is on page what? It's 12, I think, the second part. Question 80.
Yeah.
And it says knowledge of the law. I don't spend much time thinking about that, and then you went on to refer to stuff. Something Judge White had said to you, and then you said, since then I thought I should get out of another thing, which is this. They're not really the kinds of things that one would see in an application here. In terms of wanting to be, as the judge you said, I think I'd be a good judge by depth of experience, by temperament, by being open and respectful, and by desire to the ordinary fairness prevail. I'd like to have a role in that. Is it too casual? Is that I guess that would be one way of putting it. And because I know that writing requirements are so demanding, and I don't think it is embarrassing here that there's a disconnect. Everything that people say, and Attorney Smith, and I just am trying to reconcile.
Sure.
And give you an opportunity to help me.
Sure. Well, as I've stated, I have written chapters, and which I think more represents my academic style of writing. This application here, I mean, as I said, it was constrained by time limits, and
well, don't you know those things? I mean, I understand that. And just getting back to the issue of sentencing, I guess I'm wanting to know that your experiences in the project aren't going to sort of give you, a point of view that feels an obligation to something outside the case. In other words, you said people can become prisoners in their home.
Sure.
I mean, and that's fine, and we can't sort of divorce ourselves from our experience when we're judges, but wanting to know that somehow you check the weight of those experiences at the door when you put on that robe and walk into the door. And needing to know that you